What is my mom showing? Let's just get some mom dance. Is this a mom dance? Hey everyone, I'm Abby Shart. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today's What I Eat in a Day YouTube review is of Kate Flowers. Now, Kate actually reached out to me about a month or so ago after she saw my freely response video, and she told me all about her experience coming out as no longer fruitarian and all of the bullying that she had endured, which I really can empathize with. So Kate told me that she actually had a new What I Eat in a Day video coming out, and she would have loved for me to review it. So I took a little look-see at her channel. I've learned that she's a dancer, and she's a beautiful dancer at that. She also used to be fruitarian and raw, but now she's incorporating some more cooked foods into her diet, but she is completely plant-based. So without ado, let's get to it.
Situation. I would normally be starting my day with some green juice, as you guys know, but unfortunately I did not make any green juice yesterday, so instead I'm going to start the day with some raw coconut water. It's pink because the brand I get sometimes is pink, but it's just coconut water, nothing's wrong with it. It's very, very, very delicious. It's kind of a specialty treat for me. I don't have it all the time because it's really, really pricey, but when I do have it, I enjoy it.
So I love that all these YouTubers are talking about staying hydrated in the morning. It's so, so important. And I always poke fun at the whole green juice thing in the morning with a lot of these YouTubers. And so I think it's funny that she even mentioned that. But I have no qualms with green juice or coconut water any time of day, morning, noon, night, whatever. However, they are no substitute for the OG of hydration, water. Coconut water and green juice has, of course, calories, it has carbs, so you don't want to substitute all the fluids in your day for that. Otherwise, those carbs and those calories are really going to start to add up. And unless you are exercising for a prolonged period of time in the heat, you probably don't need the added electrolytes of coconut water. So you can probably skip that most often and save the cash. But as a nice treat to switch things up, by all means, go for it. Okay, so let's take a look at her breakfast.
Trying to wake up from a dream is harder than it seems. Birds are flying all around, some fall and hit the ground.
That looks delicious, A. And I've been watching a lot of these What I Eat in a Day videos now, and I don't know if it's like a mom thing that I've finally realized this or what, and the fact that nowadays I often have to choose between like a hot meal and a hot shower. But does anyone actually have time to make themselves a smoothie bowl and then assemble it all pretty like that on their rustic wooden photography board with a pale blue linen? Anyone? Like, I want to live that life. No, but I'm just teasing you, girl. I hope you can like laugh along with me here. But seriously, I find like a lot of these smoothie bowls and breakfasts and What I Eat in a Days are like really unrealistic in real life. I definitely don't have time to do that kind of stuff anymore. Maybe like 3 years ago I would have, or at least I would have pretended to. But nowadays I have totally realized that real life is not always Instagram worthy. As for the smoothie itself, totally yum. I love the color. It looks beautiful. It looks super hydrating, refreshing. I also am obsessed with hemp hearts. I put those on everything. I love them because they're a great source of omega-3s and protein. However, I probably would have liked to see a little bit more protein in the morning. Maybe some nut butter in there, or some vegan protein powder, or maybe some silken tofu or something like that. But in general, I think it's a really yummy breakfast. I thought the music choice was like kind of great, very appropriate. It felt like very zen, very, very uplifting, airy. It was a nice way to start your day to kind of ease into it. And it was like exactly what I would expect one to listen to while eating a smoothie bowl.
Because I tend to make my What I Eat in a Day videos somewhat educational, I definitely wanted to point out if you are someone who has digestive issues, following some type of food combining can be really helpful, and therefore you're going to want to have fruit in the morning.
So I'm going to stop Kate right there for a second because that's an unfortunate screenshot. I'm sorry, Kate. You're so beautiful, so I apologize for that. Let's talk about food combining for a hot minute. So this is a theory that eating certain foods together or not eating them together can impact our digestion, because advocates believe that because we have different enzymes to digest proteins and different enzymes to digest carbohydrates, that consuming them together can lead to digestive distress, as Kate is referring to, if you have digestive issues. However, our body is so much more sophisticated than that, and research has not been able to prove that there's any health benefits to food combining. In reality, our enzymes actually can break down a variety of foods at the same time. And in my opinion, eating foods together can actually do a lot of good. It can boost the nutrition of our meals. It can make foods more satiating. It can stabilize our blood sugars. So for example, I always recommend having some form of protein or fat to pair with our carbohydrates to help stabilize our blood sugars. I also recommend always having some kind of fat with your fat-soluble vitamins, which are often found in your vegetables. That's going to enhance the absorption of those fat-soluble vitamins. So that's actually why I usually recommend we do some food combining, because it, in a lot of cases, can optimize the nutrition in your meal. So I say fruit is healthy any time of day. Have it in the morning, have it at night, whenever it feels great for your body. New song. The photography board's back, guys. We're gonna eat all meals there from now on. So that looks super delicious. And Kate's calling this like a mock potato salad. But I don't think there's a need to call it a mock potato salad, because it looks just like a really tasty salad in its own right. It's got lots of antioxidants, lots of great fat, lots of fiber. I'm loving it. I also don't want people to think that potatoes are bad. They are not. They get such a bad reputation unnecessarily. Potatoes are such a great source of vitamin C, potassium, resistant starch, fiber, and actually I've got a whole video debunking potato myths right here.
Is kelp noodles. This is also not in the ingredients in the original ebook, but I have started adding it to my meals because it gives you your daily amount of iodine, which is a really important mineral that is not always easy to get on a vegan diet or even on any diet really. So this is a really easy, tasteless, inexpensive way for me to get that. I just usually add it to one savory meal a day.
So I'm really happy that Kate's talking about iodine. Iodine's a really important mineral. It helps our thyroid gland produce thyroid hormone, which is imperative for everything from brain health to metabolism and so many other body processes. So we get our iodine from seafood, dairy products, seaweed, dried prunes, and iodine fortified salt. And I don't recommend that people go ahead and like eat more salt as a way to get their iodine. Most North Americans should probably be cutting back on their salt. So these kelp granules are a really great low salt way for vegans to get their fix.
So while I'm cooking my dinner, I'm just having a really simple protein shake. It's not like a smoothie or anything. There's not any frozen bananas or fruit in here. It's simply just almond milk, protein powder, and 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds. I'm obsessed with hemp seeds because of their nutritional benefits. There's just lots of minerals and omega-3s and good stuff in hemp seeds. So I have lots of hemp seeds. I also added in some ice cubes so that it's nice and cold, because without frozen bananas, it won't be, and nobody wants a warm shake.
Agreed, nobody wants a warm shake. So great little simple snack. Also bridges the gap between lunch and dinner nicely, especially because her lunch wasn't super high in protein. I'm also speaking her language on the hemp heart love. I put that on everything. So I agree, Kate, they are like a superfood. And I don't use that term very much, but I love them.
Pick up the dice, give it a roll. You never really know which way to go. Feel it inside, feel the spark, lift you up.
Okay guys, so this giant bowl of soup is still steaming and really hot, so I'm gonna just wait a minute before I taste it because I don't want to burn my tongue. So this recipe is incredibly easy to make. All you do is blend together all of the ingredients except for the broccoli, and it becomes like a thick kind of soupy broth liquid, and then pour that into a saucepan, add the broccoli in, bring it to a slight boil, and then cover it and let it simmer for 5-6 minutes until the broccoli is soft, and that's it. So easy.
So loving the soup idea. I love soup for dinner. I'm a big soup person in general. And that one looks amazing. I love the color. I love the antioxidants. It's got protein. It's got omega-3s. It's got B vitamins, including the big one, B12, which I know a lot of vegans have a hard time getting enough of. So I'm definitely making that. So in terms of her macronutrient distribution, my numbers came out a little bit higher than hers, but I have her at 49% of her calories coming from carbohydrates, 32% of her calories coming from fat, and 19% of her calories coming from protein, which is a very generally healthy, balanced diet. So in the video, Kate also breaks down her micronutrient and macronutrient distribution in quite a lot of detail. And I can appreciate that those of you who might start a new diet, like a vegan diet that's restrictive, may seem or feel that having that raw data in front of you is really, really useful in helping you to fill in those nutritional gaps and helping you to like plan out your meals and your menu. However, where it starts to become problematic is where it interferes with your ability to eat intuitively and listen to your body and have a healthy, happy relationship with food. So I just want to flag that's not really behavior that I would encourage people to do every single day or every single meal, because it can really start to interfere with your ability to listen to your body. Okay, so let's talk about Kate's channel in general, and I'd love to talk about what I like about it. First of all, she's responsible about her expertise. I love that she has this disclaimer at the beginning of her video. Thank you so much for being responsible about your authority in this space. Too many YouTubers are out there making outlandish nutrition claims and insisting that their diet is the only way that you should eat. And that is really what has led me down this rabbit hole to begin with. So thank you for knowing and acknowledging your knowledge gaps and your role here. Number two, she's honest and responsible about her journey. So over the years, Kate has been very forthcoming in her videos talking about the shifts in her diet, going from 100% raw vegan and fruitarian to enjoying more cooked foods and fat and protein in her diet. And it seems like just looking at the comment section in her videos that her followers are really enjoying this honesty and the direction that her channel is going. As I mentioned at the top of the video, she also recently opened up about no longer being fruitarian, and basically talking about how it just was no longer serving her health well and it was not sustainable. And she actually went back and pulled and removed old videos that contained potentially problematic information. So thank you, Kate. That was a super responsible and I'm sure very challenging move to make, but it really, really is amazing that you're putting your followers' health first and helping to transition the community to a healthier, happier place. Finally, I love that she has really easy, accessible plant-based recipes. I love that the ingredients were not super expensive or crazy hard to find or exotic. They're quite accessible. I mean, that soup just had like a handful of ingredients, so I'm totally making it this week. Okay, so let's talk about what I don't love so much. First of all, she's still mainly raw. So yes, her dinner is cooked and that's great, but most of her meals are either raw or in liquid form. So smoothie, shake, soup. I've discussed this before, but there's really no good evidence to suggest that there's any benefits of a raw food diet, and there's no evidence to suggest that there's any health issues associated with consuming cooked foods with their enzymes denatured by heat. We have our own enzymes to process and digest food, so that's really great. So while some water-soluble nutrients like vitamin C and A can be reduced in the cooking processes, other really important antioxidants like beta-carotene or lycopene are actually enhanced by cooking. So cooking food in a lot of cases can increase nutrient absorption, aid in digestion, and of course add flavor. So examples of foods that are best raw from a nutrient perspective are things like broccoli, cabbage, onions, and garlic. Basically all foods that you probably don't want to eat raw unless you live and sleep alone and don't mind farting all night long. So examples of foods that are best cooked are things like asparagus, spinach, tomatoes, carrots, legumes, potatoes, and of course animal products. Goaty, do not get me started on this. And then finally, there's a heavy emphasis on numbers. So it definitely made my calculations a lot easier, but I've talked about this briefly before. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of her followers find these numbers really useful, but they can also be super triggering for those of us who, you know, are trying to reconnect with our body and learn how to focus on intuitive eating. But what I'm most impressed about Kate and her channel is the transparency. Kate is a responsible influencer, and that is a rarity, especially in the vegan YouTube space where, let's be real, there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of people peddling bad nutrition information without any qualifications. So thank you so much, Kate, for being that responsible person. And I will continue to follow your journey and follow along with your channel. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below with some ideas for other YouTubers that you'd like me to review. I'm also really looking for some non-vegan ones as well right now. So if you have any ideas, send them my way. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to watch this amazing playlist with some more great What I Eat in a Day review videos. See you next time. Bye.